Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the latest episode of Pump Up the Volume with DJ Dolly Llama. I'm DJ Dolly Llama. Very excited about our guest today. She's been a household name in Australia for 15 years now, through her time on Australian Idol as both a contestant and a host, her time as a young diva, heaps of philanthropy over the years, and most importantly, her successful solo career as a music artist in Australia. Please welcome Ricki-Lee Coulter.
Hello!
Hi, Ricki.
Oh, you are so glamorous. I feel like a drowned rat.
You know what? We actually really balance each other out, though, because if you were looking like this too, it'd be too much.
I've had my makeup on since like 4 a.m. So like I feel like it's like, you know, at the end of the night, sometimes when you get home and you like peel off the lashes and you feel a bit like crusty, that's how I feel right now. So you're really I've got my makeup kit here and I feel like I need to like keep putting more makeup on as we do this. You're too glamorous.
Just keep spackling, that's what I do. Well, I actually, tonight's my first live DJ gig since the lockdown. So I'm actually going to be going until about midnight tonight in the same place. So I'm probably going to be a bit of a bearded lady by then.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to kill it. I'm so excited for you. So how long has it been since you did the last gig?
Last gig in person was mid-March, before things got shut down. And even then, you could tell the crowds were very much thinning out.
Yeah, no one likes a thin crowd.
We do not, no.
Thin anything.
Especially when you look this good and you put 2 hours.
You're like, come and embrace me, guys.
Exactly. And so you're down in Sydney right now, correct? That's where you're based.
I'm in Sydney. We live in Sydney and I love it. I'm a Gold Coast girl, but I've managed, and I didn't like Sydney when I first moved here. It was a little too chaotic, too much of a change from the Gold Coast, which is like beachy and chill. And but I finally found myself in a place in Sydney that's just like the Gold Coast. So I'm out on the northern beaches, out near where Home and Away gets filmed. So
yeah. And have you been able, during the lockdown, because our borders closed, have you been able to get up and see your family on the Gold Coast or not?
I went up a couple of months ago because my sister is pregnant and she's very close to having her baby now, but she was really struggling. She's had a bit of a difficult pregnancy. So she asked me to come up and help her with the kids because she was kind of bedridden. So I had to go out, and her husband works. So I had to go up there and help her out for about a week, just until he could take time off work. So I have been up, but yeah, I'm excited to go up again soon to see the little baby being born.
Yeah. Did you get up on one of those passionate passes?
Yeah, I had to get I applied for that and got that, and we actually drove up, which was really, I'd never done that before. It was really fun. So yeah, I got, you get a little scared when it's very scary when you go through the border, and they've got all the big lights on and all the signs, and it's very, very scary. And we got there quite late. I think it was like 2 a.m. and I feel like I was like arriving at a jail or something, like a maximum security jail or something, and they pull you over and they ask and they talk to you, and then they send you on through with your pass. So
wow.
Yeah. Very scary though. I get very intimidated by police. It was a lot. I think I was like, I couldn't talk.
Yeah. Yeah. Even if you've done nothing wrong.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm here. Yeah. But you feel like,
It's so funny you should mention that because a couple of years ago, I worked at the Harbor Party as part of the Lesbian Mardi Gras, and they had me and Mitzi McIntosh and Dakota Secret, a couple of queens kind of standing right inside the front entry, so that after people got through the security line and the police dogs, or people are very feeling stressed out, after going through that. It's almost triggering me myself just thinking about it. But they had us standing there at the entrance with handing out calippos as people came in to try to, just lift their spirits and make them happy right as soon as they got in. The problem was, though, it was freezing and pissing down rain.
And you're like, want an icy pole?
Yeah, my hands were like seriously about to fall off. But the reason why I bring this up actually is because a little blast from the past, we've actually met each other
Oh
before.
my gosh! Oh my god! Look, I had abs. Oh, that was definitely a long time ago. Wow!
Yeah, so that was the 2013 Harbor Party, and I don't know, it might have been even the last one. I'm not sure. They stopped doing them, but
I think they said it was pissing down with rain.
yeah, it was not a very nice day.
Though everyone was shirtless and like body to body. It was amazing. I loved it. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that makes me really sad. I had abs and I was wearing a bra and high-waisted sequin fit.
Uh,
Those things wouldn't even go past my calves right now. I don't.
and you're pulling a really good face too.
Oh yes, that's the kind of face I wish I had on now. I need to like contour the shit out of my face. Apparently.
My ex commented on the photo because I had to kind of dig back in my Facebook to find it, and he was like, she's really like, you know, giving you a run for the looks from the pose department there, girl.
Well, I think I am a bit of a drag queen at heart.
Yeah. But what's it like? And that's always kind of one of my thoughts or curiosities. You know, someone who's very much in the public eye as you are, who's been in the public eye for 15 years now. You know, just what's it like? Just dealing with so many photographs and people always wanting a piece of you. Like, what's your coping strategy?
I mean, I know people who it's a real that's a real thing for them and they don't like it and they don't enjoy it and will blatantly say no photos, sorry. I just could never bring myself to do that. I think it's such a compliment when someone sees you and wants to come up and say hi and wants to have a chat, and I always welcome it. And it's just everyone, I think because of Australian Idol, people feel like they know me, and because that show was massive and we were in people's lounge rooms like 3 or 4 nights a week, and it was one of the highest rating shows like ever at the time. And I feel like people have a sense of ownership over you, and because they feel like they know you and they feel like they've been part of your journey and your success in your career because they voted for you, and they buy your songs and they buy tickets to come see your shows, and they invest their time and their money and their everything into you. So I think I find it really nice. I think it's a compliment, and I'll always make time for people. If someone wants to stop me, in Woolies while I'm picking out my broccolini, like I'm cool with that. I think it's lovely. And the only time it gets hard is if like there was a couple of times where I was like having an argument, with someone, or like having a heated conversation with someone, whether it was I think it was somewhere I was having a heated conversation with someone and it was like really serious, and then someone comes up in the middle of it and it's like drunk, hi, how you going, I love you, and it was just not the time, because it was things were about to blow up and it just was not the time to. But you have to, I remember, I think Marsha Hines said it to me, she's like, every single person you meet, they walk away with an experience. It's either a good one or a bad one. If it's a good one or a bad one, they're going to go off and they're going to tell their friend about that experience, who then tells another friend and then tells 2 more friends. And then all of a sudden, 100 people have heard about this experience. And if it's not a good one, a lot of people are going to hear about it. And I just think that that's the truth. I'm nice to every single person. I always make time. I always have time for people, and I'll never forget that piece of advice.
Yeah, that's really good. I actually have to, you said you will stop in the grocery store or supermarket. I actually I have a few down hours between my set tonight, and I'm going to just go like this and going to Aldi and just going to do my shopping.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And the thing is I don't really, when I don't have makeup on and I don't have my hair done, and it's just in a top knot and I'm at the gym, no one even looks twice.
Yeah.
But I think, or they'll like maybe they'll be like, oh, is that her? Is it not her? But as soon as I have makeup on, like yesterday I was at the gym and I had a face of makeup on, and I had so many people come up to me and want to talk and say hi. And it's literally, it's the face. Yeah. It's like this Ricki-Lee face that goes on, and people are like, "Hey, girl!" So, yes, I seem to fly under the radar quite a bit. Yeah, as long as I don't,
Yeah, that must be a real blessing. I watched a video you posted on Facebook of you at the beach, and I was like, if I saw her on the beach, I just feel like there's a pretty Australian person, but I wouldn't necessarily like put two and two together.
Yeah, and I also think like especially where I live, people are very chill and they really don't care.
Yeah.
Like I think when AGT was on, like the kids started to get really like if I'd be running at the beach or I like this, I run past a high school, and if they'd see me, they'd kind of yell out, and it would be a bit exciting. But yeah, I think I don't know. As long as I don't go anywhere without a face on. Oh my god, there's a Madonna ray of light coming through right
Yeah,
now.
right?
Hang on, let me try and get away from
By an angel.
it.
It's been really fun getting to. I mean, I migrated here permanently in 2009 from the States, and so I missed kind of your earliest days on TV and whatnot. But it's been really fun just kind of listening to your music as I've been getting ready today. And like I'm definitely like I like the Ricky bangers with the heavy drum, the can't touch it, and the do it like that, and of course raining diamonds. I was curious, but it's also like I go back and I've heard things like Sunshine, which almost has a bit of a kind of Motowny retro soulful vibe, which I don't think I'd heard before today when I was visiting your entire canon.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite sort of type of song to sing?
I love uplifting feel good songs. That's my real love. That's what I love listening to. That's when I work out, that's what I listen to. When I'm having a shitty day, that's what I put on. When my friends are around, we listen to, fun 80s, 90s. We listen to pop music. We listen to anything, fun and up tempo and pop and dance. That's what I love listening to, and that's what I love. But I did grow up listening to that, and I think that's why I love performing those songs so much and writing those songs. And I think they have been the most successful songs for me, and that's what my fans want the most from me, which is why last night we released this song, and it was the song that had to go out because after my tour last year, it was like these people are gagging for an up-tempo banger, and that's what I need to give them. So, but I grew up listening to like everything, Motown, soul, and I think that's why I loved Sunshine so much because it had that kind of Motown, Jackson 5 type feel to it. And I also, what else did we, I listened to lots of like hip hop and R&B and also like cheesy, like I love cheesy pop so much.
Yeah.
But all of it, I love so much different music, and as I've gotten older, like my music tastes, I never listened to rock music growing up, but now I love it. And yeah, I have a very odd musical collection.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, the range shows, and I love that about you. I mean, speaking of pop bop, your latest song, Last Night, which is the video is playing on the side there. I mean, this song is a real tune.
It is. It's a fun song, right?
I have to say, it's like and I'm not just like making this up. Like I literally go to bed with it in my head, and I wake up and it's in my head. Like
Yeah,
it's
it's one of those ones that once it gets stuck in your head, it just goes round and round and round and round and round.
yeah. And I know you you had a few producers on it. One of them was Bottle, the electronic dance music DJ from down in Melbourne. Can you just give us a quick little overview of like what it was like putting this together and launching it during the middle of the lockdown?
Well, we'd written the song November 2018, and we knew when we wrote it that it was a really special song. That it was this. I knew, like I feel like in the moment this is going to be a single. When I'm not sure, but this is definitely a single. And so yeah, we hadn't quite finished it. There were things that needed to be changed. We had to like rewrite the verses a couple of times to get them to where they are now because they just didn't feel right when we first wrote them. And so when lockdown happened and I literally had nothing to do for the rest of the year all of a sudden. Like I had a really busy year planned and then everything just got kind of canned, as it did for every single person in our industry. I just wanted to be productive in this time and use it well and not waste it. And so I reached out to Throttle and said, hey, are we going to finish this song or what? And so we finished writing the verses. I went into the studio. I recorded them by myself and an engineer, and sent all of the files to him that night. And from that night, he started sending me versions of updates of, you know, production and music and basses and drums and synths and pads and strings. And we went through all these different versions of the song and back and forth over email and Dropbox. And it was awesome what we achieved by not being in the same room and just by sheer will and determination that we're putting this song out in, like, we just decided this is the date, we're putting it out in a month, we're finishing it. And that literally was it. We just did it, and it was awesome. It was a great experience to do it. And I think it'll change the way that I work moving forward, because I know what can be done. You know, where there's a will, there's a way. That's what they say, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's great that you set a deadline on it too, because I'm just starting to learn how to produce electronic dance music myself. And I found that, like, you know, I work on things and then I just kind of leave them open-ended instead of be like, this is the cutoff date, wherever it's at, that's got to be it, and then you move on.
I think when you set a date, it kind of makes it real, and you like, okay, I'm going to do everything to finish it. Because it's very easy to just be like, oh yeah, I'll get to that next week, or you work on something else, or especially with making music, when, with a creative brain, it's like so many things are going on. And with a song especially, you can take it down so many different avenues. And I think that's kind of where the danger is sometimes for people, and where I think people self-sabotage, is that there's too many ideas, so it just becomes too hard. So it's like, okay, I can't be bothered, I'm not finishing it, I'm just putting it over there, I'm working on something new. And that's, I think, can be the death of so many great songs, because people just don't have the focus and that laser focus to finish it. And yeah, it's definitely it's definitely one of the biggest frustrations in what we do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's turned out amazing, and I'm looking forward to playing it live tonight for
Yeah!
after.
I'm so excited. I wish I could be there.
The other thing that has changed, I guess, since, you know, some of your, you know, compared to the previous albums in the past and whatnot, is, you know, now we have this whole TikTok phenomenon that's happening. And, you know, I saw your choreographer Marco Panzik created a little TikTok video, the choreography, and I mean, and then my friend Denny, who did a version of it where he wore those big red high-heeled boots. And I saw you commented on it. He did an amazing job.
Amazing. It's so cool with this song. I mean, TikTok, I feel like I'm 100. Like, I feel like I'm my nana trying to use a phone and figure out how to unlock, you know, the banking app. Like, there's just so many things going on, and I really want to embrace it. And Marco has started this trend of, like, people doing the choreography for Can't Touch It for last night. And yeah, I'm gonna really embrace it. He, like, bullies me to, like, he's like, Ricki, you need to do your he's like my TikTok campaign manager. He like calls me up and he's like, Ricki, I want you to do 3 videos this weekend. I want you to dance with me. I want you to do a duet with me. And so he goes ham on the TikTok. So I'll have to see, I sound old, on the TikTok.
Yeah, and what I've been told is the amazing thing about it right now is that there are no, like, crazy algorithms that are, like, pushing certain people up and others not. So it's kind of like anything can just explode on there right now. It's really fascinating.
You're inspiring me. I'm going to go and make a TikTok after this. It's such a it's like, you know, when you fall into, like, a YouTube hole, you know, late at night, and you just, like, sit there and you just scroll and scroll and scroll, and you watch video after video, or, like, you know, on Facebook Watch. I'm like that with TikTok now. I sit there and I just watch so many videos, and I'll be hysterically, you know, that laughter where you can't laugh, you can't make any noise, but you're just, like, silently, full body convulsing, laughing and crying all the time. Oh, like, yeah, it's terrible, but it's a great way to pass time.
Yeah, and there's so much creativity, and there's, you know, it's so music based as well, which is, I'm sure, also why we both love it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's just not all the negativity. I mean, there's, you know, some real world issues on it too, but a a lot of it. It's like I think their whole motto is like positive competition or something like that. Like it's all about like positivity and just yeah,
Yeah,
it's a great spirit about it.
it does, and I think just seeing people dancing and having fun and laughing at each other and like I like the couples ones. Like they're so relatable. The couples ones when um yeah, like one of the ones that I love is when women be their husband for the day and just walk around and like spill water and coffee and drop things and put things down next to the bin, not in the bin. Like I find all of those things so funny. Dogs doing cute things. Like it's so cute.
It's good. Another one of your songs that I wanted to ask you about, because I was listening to your music while I was painting my face this morning, and this beautiful acoustic song came on. Actually, like really gave me the chills, and the lyrics sounded really familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. And the lyrics went, "Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart. I can't tell where the journey will end, but I know where to start." And it took me a minute to figure out that it was Avicii's "Wake Me Up."
Yeah.
What inspired you to do a famous cover of an EDM song in 2014?
It was a song that was out at the time that I was releasing, I think it was my Dance in the Rain album. And I wanted to do because I was releasing All We Need Is Love, which was kind of had an acoustic guitar running through it, and I wanted to make it like when I released the single, I wanted to make it an EP and give the fans and people who were buying it something a little more than just one song. And so I went into the studio with Paul Mack, who is an amazing, like he's an icon in Australian music. And yeah, we came up with this version of, and that was like one of the biggest hits at the time. And I just loved it so much. And when I remember listening to it, because I would listen to it when I exercise and when I go running, and I was like, this is a really amazing song. These lyrics are incredibly powerful, but it's kind of buried under all the dance beats and the like it made it feel a bit like novelty, but the lyrics were so powerful. And so we just kind of stripped it back and he played the piano and it was just, and I love that we started it with that that hook. Whoa, and then the piano comes in. And the whole thing, we wanted to build it as it went. So like the first verse was very quiet and raw, and the first chorus was like down the octave, and it wasn't really out and in your face singing. And then it just built and built and built through the song, and then by the end of the song, I'm like belting it, and I love it so much. It's such a beautiful song. I'm so glad that we did that.
Yeah, it's a real nice addition to that song too. I got very choked up, and I was like, I'm a Pisces, so I'm super emotional. Like I cry during 30-second commercials sometimes. It does not take much, and I was like, a little bit choked up, and I was like, not when you're doing your makeup.
Oh, that's the worst when even just when you laugh too much and you get tears and the lashes like start peeling off.
Yeah.
No, boy, no, I don't like it.
Another song that really touched me was it had the is your song called "Not Too Late," where the chorus goes, "Because we are all the same, and it's not too late to start over again." And actually, I didn't pick up on the verses, but the chorus, the lyrics, "We are the same, and it's not too late to start over again." At first, I was like, "Is this a new song about like Black Lives Matter and just like all the things that are happening today?" It just got me thinking, like, it has such relevance. Although after I read up about it, I realized it's about redemption in a relationship. But
Yeah.
yeah, it just got me kind of thinking, like, have you thought about it in that context, or just how you're kind of getting through these kind of challenging and changing times?
I mean, well, that song definitely, I think we wrote it, like I had a specific intent when I was writing it, but it was definitely, we always try to write with a universal language and not try to not be too pointed with what it's about so that people can apply it to their own lives, however that may be, whether it's like, because for me it was I wrote that song after watching my friend go through a divorce with someone who was battling addiction, and it was just heartbreaking to watch, and the lyrics and really kind of go into how heavy and how dark and how much of a struggle that was. But and then the chorus is like a kind of a we are all the same and it's not too late to start over again. It was like, no matter what you go through in life, you can always pick up and you can always start again and you can always find something, find a silver lining and find something new and keep stepping up and be a better person and do better and yeah, so that song is definitely one of my favorite songs I've ever written. I actually haven't listened to that song since like I played it on tour last year. So I love that song.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I took from it is because I think even myself right now, just kind of trying to grow and recognize what are my own subconscious biases that I have, and just like trying to be a better person across the board, really, and just kind of challenge my own thinking. Because I think everybody right now is kind of thinking like, what can I do to be better right now, given all the social inequality and injustice that's
Absolutely. And everybody, I think it's really important for everybody to self-reflect and look at yourself in the mirror and think about in so many ways in your life, how can I be better? How can I be a better person? How can I be a better friend? How can I be a better citizen of the world? How can I, be more inclusive? And how can I be more helpful? And how can I be more thoughtful? And I think it's a really important thing for all of us to do. And not a lot of people do it. I have noticed a lot of people just live their life the way that they always have, and this is who I am, and I'm never going to change. And I think that's a really dangerous way of living. I think we always can evolve and change and try to see things through other people's eyes, not just our own all the time. Try and look at both sides of the story and see if there's things that you're missing in between. Yeah, I think too many people are naive and ignorant, and I think that's the reason for a lot of divisiveness in the world.
Yeah. So that's a nice segue to the fact that it is the very end of June, which is always Pride Month. This is the 51st anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising and riot in New York City. It's also the 42nd anniversary of the march that led to the Mardi Gras in Sydney. So just would love to kind of know, you obviously have a massive LGBTIQ fan base. Like, what do you think it is about you or your music that resonates so much with
I don't know. I would love you to tell me. I don't know. I honestly, I would love to know the answer. I don't know what it is, but I am as drawn to them as they are to me. Like it really is. It's just like we're a match made in heaven. And I don't know what it is, but I don't know. We just have an attraction to each other. It's unstoppable.
I saw that amazing video of you singing Lady Gaga's "Edge of Glory" at like it was a same-sex wedding a while back. That was phenomenal.
Two of my best friends got married. It was beautiful. It was just one of the most emotional days. And they asked me, it was Edge of Glory is one of their favorite songs, and they're massive Lady Gaga fans. It's actually my choreographer Marco and his husband Pete, and it was just such a beautiful moment and so special. I got so nervous. I messed up the second verse because I was so emotional. And I'm so angry at myself that I did that. But I did that. I got such a again come back and it's just like listen to these words.
So I think we had I think the audio started playing from the phone there. It's all right.
Yeah, it was just it's just such a beautiful moment, and I was so happy that I was able to do that for them on their special day.
One more question for you about your past, and then we'll skip straight to what's next for you. I read that you did a lot of musicals when you were in high school, and you actually did three of my favorite ones, which is the reason why I want to go into this for a second. You did Hair, Rocky Horror Picture Show, and Jesus Christ Superstar. Like those are pretty much my top three musicals.
And so this is where good old Wikipedia or whatever it is gets it wrong. So We did in high school, we did school musicals, and one year we did like, they did it like a theater restaurant. And so we did like excerpts and snippets of lots of different musicals in one night. And so it was like, from Hair, it was like, what are this? I don't even remember, like Aquarius and what the hell is, and I still know the words, Giddy Club, Whoopie, living on me, doopie, la 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 la, whatever the hell that song is.
Good morning, Sasha. Yeah.
That shit is like ingrained into my mind. And we did something from Miss Saigon. We did like parts of Greece. What else did we do? Les Mis.
So what's your favorite musical of all time? That's what I really want to know.
Well, Les Mis is definitely, I think there's more songs in Les Mis that I love. And if I was ever to do a musical, it would either be Les Mis or Chicago, because I am such a Velma. Like I love that character so much, and those songs, and just how sassy she is. So yeah, they're my two favorite musicals for sure.
Have you been, I mean, that's, a lot of kind of mainstream artists are doing that, kind of crossing over to musical stage and theater. Have you done any of that, or is that something you do?
Because I want to do the right role, and I'm also scared because like I'm not an actress, so I don't want to, like, the pressure of having to carry a show, because it's not just about being a singer and a performer, you've got to be able to act. And I think that's what I'm the most scared of, is that I'm not an actor, and I feel like I'm going to ruin the show because I'd be so bad. So it would need to be a role that I think yeah, it would have to be the right role.
Sure.
I've been asked so many times to do it, and it just has never, it's just never worked timing wise, either with my music releases or with AGT, things like that. So I definitely will do one day for sure. And then I think once I do it, I'll get a taste for it, and then I'll be like, all right, let's go.
Totally, you could do it. No worries. I guess
reviews.
Yeah. What's just looking ahead? We're just about to cross over into the new financial year of July. What's kind of in the cards for you? What's in the plans?
I'm just basking in the glory of last night, just doing its thing and people loving it and embracing it. But as well, you have to start thinking about what is next. What am I going to do next? How am I going to follow this up? What song am I going to release next? So we're definitely now starting to, it's hard because like you really have to, when you release a song, you have to soak it up. I think I spent a lot of years thinking and worrying about what's next, and always looking forward at what's the next thing, and missing out on the now and what's happening in the present. And I've learned from that. So I think, yeah, I'm taking it all in, I'm soaking it all up, but it's now starting to creep. It's been 2 weeks since I released the song, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. But it's starting to creep in the thoughts of like, okay, what am I going to do to follow this up? Which song are we going to put out next? Because I've got songs, I've got music, I just have to make the decision.
Yeah. Any more leg and booty home workouts? I saw you posted a video.
That was such a surprise that people loved that. I thought I'm going to put this up and it's going to have like 10 views and like no one's going to care, but it went off.
Yeah, I'm loving the home workouts right now. Like, I don't need to go back to a stinky gym. There's so much good home workout content online.
Yeah, and I think I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed working out at home. But I do find now, like I've just started going back to the gym, and I do find that I am probably a little more, I go a bit harder at the gym, and the workouts are a bit quicker. So when I'm at home, I kind of go inside, I'll have a drink, check what's in the fridge and have a little snack. And then like, oh, there's something on the TV. And so the workout sometimes can just go for so long.
Yeah.
So going to the gym, nobody wants to be in there for too long. You go in, you get it done, and you get the hell out of there.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, is there anything just you'd like to share with you or say to your LGBTIQ fans as we kind of wrap up the end of Pride Month?
I just want to say that I love you so much, and I'm very grateful for the love and the support. Yeah, and I hope you've had the time of your lives this month. I know it's hard, right? Because there's nowhere you can't really go anywhere. You can't celebrate.
I'm
I'm
having
sure
a big party tomorrow
lots of drag shows in lounge rooms around the country and around the world, and you know, dance parties and dance offs, and I'm sure we haven't let this just slide on by without a celebration.
Yeah, and it means also means probably 2021 is just going to be even bigger.
Absolutely, 2021 is just going to be out of control.
In a good way.
Reinforcements for that.
Cool. Well, we know we can find your music on the platforms, all the platforms.
Sorry, cut out then. I'm so sorry.
I'm just saying, we can hear you on pretty much every platform: Spotify,
Apple Music, iTunes, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. Wherever you listen to music and find music, that's where I will be.
Instagram, and also TikTok. Very important TikTok now.
Yeah.
Get into that.
Get onto that. I'll try and do some of this. I only want to spend it with you. It feels right.
I'll try to film a little bit of tonight when I play it at the Wickham. I'll try to film it a bit and get some choreography going.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that. Please do.
Well, thank you so much for being such a lovely guest and taking your time to spend it with us. We really appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you up here in Queensland. I get down to Sydney all the time, so I'm sure we'll cross paths.
We'll have a dance at Palms or something.
Hell yeah.
Level 3 Stonewall.
Everywhere. All right, Ricki-Lee, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
If this is a